Yo, Icon Nation, it's Nick White, and this is another episode of the Toxic Icon Podcast, back with another one, a big one, a good one. Let's do it. Tonight, I'm joined by my brother, my guest. This dude he's an actor. He's in the costume. He's scaring people. He's taking photos. He's got a birthday tour.
Yeah.
But not only that, he spins on the ones and twos with King ISO and Tech 9. And he's about to hit the road soon. Please welcome DJ Doc.
What's going on, man? I'm happy to be here, man.
Hey, dude. Appreciate you for coming,
yes, sir.
man.
Of course, man.
For
of
real.
course.
This has been a long time coming.
Years.
Yeah.
Years in the making.
The idea has been tossed around, but it's finally time, man. Normally, when we do this podcast, we normally started out the how did you get into it, but you know how it is when we start talking, and we never have enough time. We'll be here. So, dude, I really want to focus on like your experience in the industry.
Yeah.
And we just, collectively, we got a lot of years in the industry. Yeah. And representation is huge.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, like,
yes, it is.
Let's hop into it. How do you feel about the industry? What is the state of the industry right now, as you know it as a hunter?
It is. It's getting a facelift. I'm going to say that. I
Okay.
feel that, we've been, our generation, so everyone that's been acting consistently probably the past, I'll give it 15 to like 24, 25 years.
Right.
Everyone that started like the early 2000s to 2005, 6, 7. You started in that time range. Now we're hitting, we're the old people. We're 34, 35, 36, 40. And the things that we were doing, we're not doing. But if you did it correctly, the generations that followed after you have learned and progressed. Yeah. And, we went through 2020 sucked. And I know a lot of people, bring it up. I hate bringing it up. But for the hunt industry, it was either you really won or you really lost. But now that, everyone's got their footing back, different breed of high schoolers have come in and start acting.
Yeah,
this facelift is happening. There's a lot of creativity that's going on. The movie industry is influencing young actors every single day. Wrestling is inspiring actors like crazy, man. So
is going crazy.
Yeah, it's a serious, it's a facelift that's needed, and it's going in a very positive direction.
Yeah, I think so too, man. What I've noticed, just like you said, especially what you said about 2020, some people feel like they won, some people feel like they lost.
Yeah.
I felt like, personally, for my specific hunt, I feel like we won. We had conversations with management before that season even started, and the goal was we just need to break even. That's it. We just need to break even. Bruh. We were the only thing open downtown.
Hey, that was us.
We tripled. It like I have never seen that many people outside of our haunted house, even seasons post 2020. That's different, man. We went crazy.
If any haunts that were open for the 2020 season, I know for a fact that they were flooded. Yeah. We were the only haunt in our city open.
And which haunt are you from?
So I was at Scary Acres that year. I travel across the country. I do a lot, but Scary Acres was 2020, and when I tell you the flood of people, because it was like the world was deciding if they wanted to open back up or not. Yeah. So haunted houses were like the first major thing. Like football games were kind of closed down. They didn't know what they wanted to do, limited attendance. But the fact that, here's a haunted house, and the county that they're in didn't have a mandate for anything. It was kind of, we're good, we're clear, we're wide open. Yeah. When the news got out.
Everybody was now.
Everyone's used to hell weekend. Everybody knows them last 3-4 weeks of crazy. Yeah, it was 2 hell weekends in one night.
That felt like a OG.
Yes, that is literally what it was. I'll tell you a true story. We have gates, metal gates that are in our parking lot that keep you from the parking lot to the ticket booth.
Okay.
They broke the gates down trying to get in. The crowd, I have the footage.
What's crazy is we had, and I know you heard about it because I know a lot of people in the industry were hitting me up this night like, bro, what is going on at y'all's haunt? We had a night where obviously you always had that one weekend where it's nothing but high school homecomings.
Yeah.
But because of everything going on in 2020, there was no homecoming. But those high school kids still wanted to be outside, and they still showed up.
Yeah.
Went through the haunted house. Everything was cool. But unfortunately, they all started banging in the parking lot across the street. Humongous fights.
I knew about it.
City police, I've never seen city police swarm on our property like that. Shut us down for the night.
That's crazy.
Shut us down for the night. It was like, until we can figure out some crowd control, we may have to pull further nights because we can't figure it out. So everybody's scrambling now. What are we gonna do? Meanwhile, our sister haunt was still open out in Fenton. And all of them are going to take all that shit and go right
straight
out
there. Yeah.
And like it didn't end up happening, but that year was crazy. The crowds were different.
Yeah, we had issues too. That again, when I say this facelift was needed, it's with the crowds as well too, because there was a lot of, no pun intended, there were a lot of toxic customers that were going to haunts in 2020 and 2021 that were very rude and super disrespectful. Like, I know we all have it, but it was just one of those things where it's like they just wanted to do stuff and people were aggravated. But haunters, we get the blunt end of it. We get it, but man, those crowds were different. I mean, we had groups of 30, 40 kids that would randomly run to the front of the line and cut people. And I'm not just talking like a little cut. Like, it was literally like you had a bunch of high schoolers just go up to the front and move people out of their way. Oh, yeah. And you have a ticket taker and one security person. You can't see who was it. It was them. No, we've been here. You're not going to cause that issue. Right. So this facelift, it helped people understand line control a little better. It helped people understand how to organize and how to do this. So now that was 2020. It's 24 now. Right. So we 4 years after that. Yeah. People have learned and things are very positive now. I'm loving all of this, man.
Because I will say, and I tell people this all the time, and I've caught some backlash for it, but that season, for me personally, as an actor, I enjoyed that season. Yeah. Because there was so much more interaction out there that it was like, there's always, normally, even if it gets packed out there, once the people go in or it slows down, there's nobody else to mess with. There was consistently a new face.
See, and
they just kept showing up.
And that's the thing that really separates a lot. Of course, I travel across the country and do haunts everywhere, so I get to see different queue lines. I get to see different setups. And the one thing about where I haunt at the most, it's not just a line; it's a screen park. So you have to get a ticket to get onto the property, and there's 3 different haunts that you go to, but they're not next to each other and they're not connected. Right. So you have one here, you have one over here, and you got one over here, and everything in the middle is a midway.
So you got
it's just a huge. It's people. Out. Yes, it's a hangout session.
I kind of like that though.
You say that. You say that. It's not a negative thing, but for if any midway actors, queue line actors, you want to get tested, do one of them screen parks where they don't leave. Because it's no longer just I'm going to try to scare you, because now they're staring at you for 20 minutes before they go into the haunt. And then they leave the haunt and they're right back to where they just saw you. So you can't do the same thing again. Yep. When I say it's a true test of character, literally and figuratively, it's okay, you can't do the same scare 13 times a night because the group that you already scared with it. Yeah. So they're still here. They're still over here. Right. So you have to freestyle. You got to be creative. You got to understand that your character is a full character, and you have to interact differently.
And now you got to improv, and that's where people will fold.
Exactly.
If you can't improv, it's over.
I think that's what really sets me apart from a lot of actors across the country. Is I've done the scaring. I know I can be scary. But I kind of took it to a different level in the sense of I don't want to just be scary. I want to be entertaining. Right. Because you'd rather have, when you see SCAB, he's 6'5", 350 with his shirt off. He'll randomly start twerking, randomly start rapping, start checking you, do the whole 9, and then he'll scare you. Right. And then it's like, no, we cool. Like, what's up? Right. That's when I'm gonna scare you. That whole setup, that whole energy, that vibe makes it easier for those who have not had any experience scaring. Because
the setup is crucial.
Exactly.
You can go up and scare somebody at first, but let me find out a little bit about you first.
Exactly.
And use it. You know what I'm saying?
Because now there's a connection.
Yeah.
Now they're going to remember. Oh, I was at this hunt, and the clown, yeah, SCAB, the celebrity, yeah, or yeah, I was hanging out with such and such. Because now they're placing a character with a specific hunt, and now you're building memories.
And not only that, but they'll come back.
Yes.
If they remember you. Oh, I got to get my annual picture. SCAB.
I have that.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, I think
it's cool, man. I had some kids that I scared out there. They were like freshmen in high school, and I promise you, they came back as freshmen in college, and were like, "Yeah, we still remember you. Like, we came back just to see you."
I think one of the craziest things we talk about pictures. You brought up the birthday bash tour. So
yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So my birthday is October 6th.
Right.
So the idea that I had, it just started off as let's bring some friends in, bring them up to Omaha, come guest act with me for my birthday weekend, just have some fun.
Right.
And it went from like 2 to 3 to 5 to 6. Now it's at like 17, 18 actors every quote unquote birthday bash just in Omaha.
Yeah.
And it continued because other hunts were like, hey, we would love to have you here.
Bring the bash
bring the bash to us. So, okay, hey, I'm in New Orleans. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Chicago. I'm in St. Louis. Yeah. Like, St. Louis was the first city to say they wanted the birthday bash there. So, like, the fact that I'm able to do that, and again, the memories. So, show you two quick things, how crazy this is. The first ever birthday bash that we had in Omaha, there was this little kid who was scared to go into the hunt. So, of course, I'm not going to scare you. I'm going to go up and I'm going to sit there and talk to you for 5-10 minutes.
Right.
I'm making sure you are good as a customer. Right. So he's a little kid. He want to take a picture of me. Cool. Next year, birthday bash. He comes up with a birthday card and says, happy birthday. I remember you. I came last year for your birthday. So I'm like, oh, snap. Okay. Year 3, he comes up with the shirt that says SCAB Jr. And his nickname now is SJ. And he's, mind you, when I met him, he was 4.
Wow.
So 4, 5, 6, and 7, he came to the birthday bash until he moved away from the city. I'll still get Facebook messages on the SCAB page saying happy birthday. And it's like, man, this kid was 4 and he met me.
He made an impact.
When I was here, birthday bash tour weekend here. Scared some kids at the birthday bash tour in Omaha. Didn't know who these girls were. Just scared them. Cool, whatever.
Right.
I'm here. I'm outside. And I see these kids come up and they start yelling SCAB. So I'm like, oh, okay, y'all must know who I am. And then I look and they show me a picture that they took with me in Omaha.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do y'all know I'm here? Oh, we had a game in St. Louis. It was a volleyball team. We had a game in St. Louis and we saw that there was a haunted house here, and then we looked up and we saw that you were going to be here. We wanted to show up. Oh, okay.
Because now that people are following.
And I'm like, man, that's being inside the hunt in a random pop scare and someone going, SCAB, I saw you in Omaha. Whoa, what?
Not only you saw me in Omaha,
but you now, how do you know I'm here? It's just that, the cult following with hunts when it comes to these fans, when you do your job the correct way. And I've seen that with more than me. There's actors in Chicago. I don't even want to name drop. There's actors in Chicago. There's actors in Alabama. There's actors in Atlanta. Their name alone, literally, there are people who've never been to their haunted houses respectively. But you know who they are. You know what they do. You know their backstory. You have videos. You've shared it. That's the impact that we have.
That's why I don't think people understand how much of an impact that hunting really does have on the community, which is why, and I feel like everybody feels differently, but personally, I try to uphold myself with that, that knowledge in my head. Like, people are watching.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? People are watching, and you get those actors. I don't want to name drop like you said, but there's an actor that we have at our hunt right now. It's my boy, one of the coolest people I met. But he hit me up, it's probably 3 years ago now. I didn't even know who this guy was, but he's like, dude, I love you guys' haunted house. I've been following you guys forever. I come every year with my girl just so I can watch y'all do your thing. I love to go through. Y'all don't have to change anything. It looks amazing. Fast forward, this dude acts with us now is going into his second, full year as an actor, and I've just watched this dude grow.
Yeah.
But he's talking about the impact that we made on him. He's like, you guys might have scared the shit out of my girl. I'm like, well, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to scare you, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, but you guys made an impact on me. And literally, because of you is why I want to work here.
I get that story.
Dude,
I get you.
I
get you. My little brother Drip. Same thing.
Shout
man.
out to Drip, man.
Shout out to Drip.
Boy,
Shout out to Drip, man. We got some. Hey, 2024. The Party Boys. It's going down everywhere. Stay tuned. Everywhere. Stay tuned. But no, he was one of those. He came through the hunt. He saw who I was. Yeah. He saw what we were doing, and come to find out, years later, he told me, "Hey, you were one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. Like, I just saw you having so much fun. I was like, I want to do that." So it's like it's super cool to see, to see that impact happening. Yeah. I'll tell you what really kills me. Knowing that, 2005, I'm in high school and I'm scaring people. I'm scaring my classmates in 2005. They're dating boyfriend, girlfriend in 2005. Right. And now here it is, 2021, 2 and 3. And their child is now acting with me at the haunted house.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that
makes you feel old. Though?
Here's the thing: it does, but it doesn't, because I started at 15. Yeah. So like I was a kid myself, but it's crazy. Mm-hmm. We were out here doing things, and they had babies and all this stuff, but we were teenagers. We were just enjoying life, and that was our escape. Yeah. And now to see that this is your escape, and you were in the same footsteps that I was in when I was 15, 16, 17. And it's like, man, I know your parents.
Yeah, I was crazy.
I had math class with your mom. Right. Like, I scared your parents
and now here we are working
house,
together.
And now here we are. Like that, man. It's
like, yeah, I probably scared your people on their first date, and now you're sitting here working with me.
I believe it. I believe it wholeheartedly.
It's crazy, man. That whole time, and like you said, there's a new brand of high schoolers coming in. That's what throws me off. It's like, because I remember I came in as a high schooler, and now years later, you get these kids coming in. I don't even have like I've seen freshmen show up that are like, we're not old enough. You got to be 16 to work in the state of Missouri or whatever. But 14, 15-year-olds that are just like, just throw us in there. Like, y'all don't even got to pay us. We just want to do it.
I want it. Yeah, the eagerness
sucks to have to tell them.
Yeah,
unfortunately, you got to wait and come back.
See that the hunt I started off at, it's no longer here. Rest in peace, Wayne Seeley, the owner of Mystery Manor. He passed away. Mystery Manor is gone. The building has been torn down. Heartbroken, but that was a pillar in the country when it comes to haunted houses. There isn't a person who's ever been to any convention or anything who did not know who Wayne was. This man, So the thing that got me was it was a family thing with him. So you didn't have to be 16. You didn't have to be 15. Right. If your big brother worked there and your big brother was 20, 21, was responsible, and you were like 10, you worked at the haunted house. But you weren't out someplace. You were in a cage somewhere doing something, but you were there. I mean, his grandkids were there. They were 6, 7, 8, 9 working there, and now they're going on and managing haunts of their own. Like, it's crazy.
That's how you build them up.
That's being in there for years like that, and to have that hard cutoff. It sucks, rough, but the world that we live in now, it's necessary to have that cutoff. It's very necessary
because there's things going on in haunted houses that shouldn't be going on.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, you need the cutoff.
Yep, very important.
And you brought up, what was that, Mystery Manor you brought up? So speaking of, because I do want to get into this a little bit, let's just talk any haunts in the country.
Okay.
Give me like you can go 5, 3, however many, but your favorite haunts in the country. Like, you tell anybody, go check this out.
Oh, man. Okay, so I'm going to give you my GOAT list. This is my greatest of all time. And these are places that I've either been a guest at, like a customer, or I've actually worked there. Okay.
Because that even puts it in a different experience.
Yeah, I get to see a couple things. And any place that I've ever guest acted at, I've always been a customer first. Right. I don't just, I want to work there, and then I show up and get booked or whatever it is and then just go. No, I want to actually see what you all do. So my number one of all time, and if you know me, you'll understand, my number one of all time.
Specific one, I'm wondering if you're going to say it.
You know I'm going to say it. Rest in peace. Shout out to all my House of Shock family. House of Shock. I got. That's my number one. Shock, man. It was very a very different experience being down there. Mainly because I'm a huge person when it comes to atmosphere. I love music. I love set design. I love all of that. But when you're speaking about a city that its rich culture is based around the religion of voodoo, and a state that is very well known for the religion of voodoo. And then you have a haunted house that speaks about selling your soul to the devil, and it very heavily around. Listen,
that was a badass.
That mindset alone, 20 plus years of that, unreal.
To do 20 plus consistent years.
Not like some little itty bitty stuff, and they weren't a regular haunted house, bro.
Nah, House of Shock was like
the
that.
Stage show, the pyro, how many shows they did a night. The side stage with the random rock bands that would show up, Grammy Award winning bands. When you had celebrities coming through, I was there one night doing a voodoo character with blind contacts in my eyes, and I heard somebody's voice come through when I'm standing in my spot scaring people. Can't really see. But that voice sounded familiar. Whatever. End of the night comes up. I go to say thank you for the amazing weekend. Yada yada. And they're all showing each other the pictures that they just took with Will Smith, and I'm going, wait, he that was him?
Oh yeah.
But again, this is you're in New Orleans. It's a movie state. So people will go through there all the time. So the amount of celebrities that go through there, it's just it's crazy. So that's definitely my number one.
House of Shock.
My rest of my GOAT list, because I don't do 2, 3, 4. That's number one. Everything else is great honorable mentions. I gotta go to Chicagoland. I can't just pick one. I can't pick one. Man. So the entire Chicagoland, I personally feel no other city or region is topping what Chicagoland is doing as a whole.
It's not.
It's scary what they are capable of doing.
The culture up there is rich.
It's unreal. It is unreal. Again, you talking about New Orleans, you talking about the voodoo culture, the culture of, this is real. He's really doing this. I don't play about that. You can't do voodoo in Omaha, Nebraska. They don't relate to that culture.
It's not gonna. It doesn't
but
flow
Chicago has a taste of everything. It's a huge melting pot. But when it comes to their overall productions and their costuming and their makeup and their haunts in general, their locations, you really can't.
That's
can't top that.
That's what I love about their haunted houses up there. Another thing I love about the Chicagoland area haunted houses is that they are big on something for everyone to do.
Yes.
When you step on and I'm going to talk about Disturbia for a second. When you step on their property, before you even see the actual attraction, there's a bar for you. There's food for you. There's arcade games. There's music. And there's a million photo ops. You know what I'm saying? So even if you couldn't make it in, you were still there. You still got some sort of experience. Chicagoland does it differently, bro.
It's crazy. Some great honorable mentions on that list as well, on that GOAT list. Places I've been surprised by.
Ooh, that's another.
So, Woods of Terror, man.
Oh yeah, Woods of Terror.
Woods of Terror, was not expecting that. Went there, was like, okay, hear a lot about it. Woods was, another one, Arx Mortis. In Alabama, I was not expecting. I went, okay, cool. We know middle of nowhere. Let's do it.
I feel like Bama is a little slept on in the hunt.
And so again,
in the industry,
you want to go there? Let's do Alabama as a whole,
right?
Because there's some powerhouses down there that it's different. The culture down there is different. Like they're meaner. They're a little meaner down in Bama. So House of Shock, Chicagoland. We're speaking about Arx Mortis and just places that are Woods of Terror, places you're just not expecting.
Right.
I gotta throw this last one out here.
Okay.
That kind of that finishes up my little list. I did not expect to have as much fun as I did at these 3 specific haunts. But I have to say it, and not because I'm here, because it genuinely was a fun experience. Every time I've been there. and that would have to be the Darkness, Limp, and Creepy World.
The trifecta.
It's not because I'm here. It's not because you're here.
And I appreciate
genuinely,
the honesty about that, though.
Genuinely, the fact that I was booked to randomly do a birthday bash weekend at Creepy World, and I went in knowing 2 people there,
right,
and walked out with family.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, oh, and then they were like, oh wait, we're gonna put you in this room because whatever. And they're like, wait a minute, aren't you? Yeah. Why are you in the, no, come over here. Yeah. Then it went from come over here to, well, go do whatever you want. We trust you. You're good.
Take care of you.
Oh, okay. Same thing at Limp. Random voodoo stuff down there.
Yeah.
Go have fun. I go down to the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's, hey, this is where we want you, but chill here for like 15, 20 minutes.
Go move
Come
around,
out, move around, do some fun. Cool.
Dude.
But I don't go anywhere thinking I'm better than anyone, that I'm deserving or I'm supposed to get certain things.
You can't.
I'll do it. Granted, there's been weekends and seasons where I've gone everywhere and I've always been in the midway. Mm-hmm. I've driven from Omaha to St. Louis specifically and worked as a pop box all night.
Yeah.
I don't have to, as long as I'm working and I'm scaring, I'm adding something to the flavor. I'm good with that. That's all that matters, because I've had the highest and I've had the lowest. I'm not above anybody. But yeah, man, that list, those ones, man, is just I can pick apart each one of those haunted houses and tell you something crazy about them.
I would personally have to say definitely House of Shock. Definitely on my list. That was just a boss haunted house. Remember we were walking around Transworld?
Yeah.
And we saw their stuff was like it was being sold.
Yeah.
We were like
confused.
We were having our own conversation.
Yeah, we
about
were.
Something else.
And we stopped. It was like, wait a minute.
That's House of Shock shit right there.
And immediately, I got on the phone and started calling people like, hey, why is y'all stuff here?
Like, what's going on?
And then I found out what was really going on. That was the in between year. That was the before the resurrection. Before the resurrection. But I wasn't in the know about it yet. But again, I'm still a guest actor. I'm flying out from Omaha to go down there 2 weekends out of a season just to be down there. So I was like, hey, I just need, before I book this flight, what's going on?
Let me know something.
But yeah, man, they're
yeah. I say House of Shock. Obviously, my home, Hunt the Darkness, love it. Mm-hmm. Love R3. Mm-hmm. Those 3 have made such an impact on me and inspired me to even do this anyway. So I can't not talk about them. Obviously, Fort Worth, Texas, the Cutting Edge.
Yes,
Cutting Edge is one of them haunted houses that it's not criminally slept on. I don't hear about it as much anymore today. Mm-hmm. But for anybody listening to this episode, go down there and check out that haunted house.
Yes.
It's an old school slaughterhouse. It's dark. It's gothic. They don't want to be the most detailed. Mm-hmm. And they'll tell you that. We focus on our actors and darkness and the overall vibe. You know what I'm saying? I love that haunted house.
That's what's up.
Nashville Nightmare.
Of course.
The Nashville Nightmare is amazing.
Yeah.
Chicagoland, of course. Mm-hmm. And then Grim Life Collective. Shout out to the Grim Life Collective, because we have been fortunate enough to hang out with them a little bit more recently. Some of the nicest people ever, man. They're real cool. They just went up to Michigan and did Eloise Asylum. I don't know if you've seen that attraction before.
Yeah.
I was blown away by the YouTube video. And they didn't even show the whole hunt, because we ran into them at Days of the Dead Chicago at the con, and they were like, "Oh yeah, like we only showed what they gave us the green light to show."
Yeah,
you still got to go.
You can't trust YouTube videos, and I say that in a good and a bad way. You can't trust it because you think that that's all that it is. Yeah. I.e., there's a Creepy World video up every 2 weeks, and they all look different. From the same season.
And if you really watch the video, you'll notice.
Like I've been there. I've looked at the video like, okay, so this is what they got this year. And then I'll show up and it's like, oh no, we changed this around. How did you just move these whole 4 rooms around? Well, because that's what we were doing Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday when everybody left. And then Wednesday we blocked it off, and then Thursday it was open. I'm like, oh, so that's how you, because again, there are haunts that are that invested into this, man.
Because it's all about the aesthetic. It's all about the vibe. Dent Schoolhouse.
Yeah, Dent's amazing.
Love Dent Schoolhouse. Would love to work the line at Dent Schoolhouse. Would love to act period up there. But the way their queue line is set up, the interaction. I just feel like they have a great time up there. There's too many haunts to really talk about. Haunted Overload, Fright Kingdom.
Yes.
Another OG, Field of Screams.
Man, Field of Screams.
Man.
That's
Field of Screams.
Again, and it's like I kind of feel guilty leaving certain ones off my list, but it's like
Asylum. Like, dude, the East Coast is loaded.
East Coast has a lot.
East Coast
definitely has a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely does.
There's one in Orlando that I just got hip to, and I haven't seen it yet. Is it Sir Henry's Haunted Trail?
I think I know what you're talking about.
They seem like some really cool people. I reached out to them to try and do their media night. I don't know if we'll be able to make it, obviously, but they seem like some really cool people.
And any haunted house that has trail in their name.
Those are the hidden gems.
Slept on.
Criminally slept on.
There was a haunted house in this area that wasn't a building, and then they went to a trail, and I was like, whatever.
Is that a Woodline?
No. Phobias.
Shout out to my Phobias family, man.
When I tell you,
good people,
I was in their building there last night, and then I went to the trail.
Yeah.
Their first season. Oh my Lord. 1.09 miles in the dark, in the woods. Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Boy.
And what's crazy about them is even though their haunt did not last as long as we would have hoped for it to, the Hunt family is universal.
Yeah, it is.
Because I still keep in touch with some.
Always.
Shout out Marzo.
Yeah. Big shout out to Marzo. That's my brother, man. Anytime I'm here, that's where I'm crashing at, man. That's my brother.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, they stay in touch. Good people. So before we close out, I want to say we're sending some love to Yerty. He couldn't make it here tonight, but he will be back on the next one. You already know. Tell our audience where they can find you at and where you'll be at this fall.
Oh, man. All right. So let's get it all out here. Of course, get the Facebook, Jim Lamorre, simple. The Instagram #1, The Real DJ Doc, THEREAL, DJ DOC. Of
Follow
course,
it.
SCAB the Celebrity on Instagram as well, too. That's like a seasonal thing. You got to catch that. Yeah. DJ Doc on Facebook, SCAB the Celebrity on Facebook. Man, anything Scurry Face related, make sure you hit that up and follow that, man. You got to do that. Shout out to the Home Hot. Shout out to everybody in all the Scary Acres, everybody in Omaha. This fall, we got homecoming weekend that's going to be at Scary Acres. We have my birthday bash weekend, October 4th, 5th, and 6th at Woods of Terror. It is going down. The party boys, Scab, Drip, and Cutie will all be in attendance. Lock it in, man. Look, where else are we at? There's a possibility we're gonna be in Atlanta for the resurrection of a specific haunted house. I can't contain it in anymore, but if you read between the lines, if you read between the lines, I really can't contain it anymore. But I might need in keep a look. Yeah, that's gonna be nuts. We got. I'm supposed to be here in St. Louis as well too. Probably 2 weekends, man. It's crazy.
It's coming up, man.
Yeah, make sure you follow King ISO on Instagram, Table of Truth on Instagram. We got a tour coming up, the Ildren Tour. It is crazy. Run them album numbers up.
And by the time this episode drops, that tour will be in full swing. So the info will be there. So
yes, it will. It's gonna be right there. I love doing that. It's gonna be right there.
Right there. Well, this has been another episode of the Toxic Icon Podcast. Yes. You know to follow us at Toxic Icon Pod on all platforms. But while you're there, make sure you subscribe, like, drop a comment. It helps us out so we can get it out to you. And we will be on the road at FrankieCon the second weekend of May, Knoxville, Tennessee. Be sure to check us out. Come say what's up. And we will be in with another episode soon. My name is Nick White. We send our love to Yerrty-G. He'll be back. Shout out to my boy DJ Doc for coming in and doing it with us.
Appreciate it, man.
And this has been another episode of the Toxic Icon Podcast. Don't forget to stay toxic.
Yes, sir.
Money. 1, 2, I'm Yerty.